Good morning, Sandra here from Create in Spain. I did not use any traditional cut software for these at all, and it isn't difficult to do. I didn't use my laptop at all in this, and for those of you who might have a Brother Scan and Cut but you don't have a laptop, you can still create images that you can cut out by using your Scan and Cut in the traditional way that it was originally designed to work, i.e. scan it in and get it to cut it. I didn't have to put lines around this manually, so how is it done? If you're interested in knowing that, then keep watching. Here I have a design which, to all intents and purposes, looks like it would be okay to scan and cut, but it isn't. If I change the background colour to anything else, you can see, oh yes, there's a bit of white inside there. So I'm going to put this back to white again. Now, I have my pen colour set to a dark colour. This is important if you're trying to put a dark outline around. You need to duplicate this. So swipe left, duplicate, swipe left, duplicate. So you have three identical things. The two bottom ones, I want to put an alpha lock on. Now an alpha lock means that whatever you apply over the top of this will only apply to the pixels which are coloured in. It's just going to colour in that bit, and you can take your dark colour and you can pull it over, and you think it hasn't done anything, but if you check your layer, oh yes it has. So you do that with the other layer. Now you want to take the alpha layer off, because if it's on you won't be able to do the next step. So now that you have these two coloured in, we want to select this middle one, and if you want to you can select up here as well from this menu. So you can select it there. And I want to go to Magic Wand here, and I want to select Gaussian Blur, and I want to select Layer. Now at this point, check that this is on a dark colour, because if you've got it on white, you won't be able to see anything happening. Now I'm going to swipe from left to right with my pencil. Watch what happens up here. This middle bit is going to display a percentage, and then there'll be a blue line coming from the left. So blue line starts, and my percentage is there. Now I'm going to put this to about 3.5%. Usually somewhere between 3 and 9%. It depends on what you're doing. If you want to outline lettering, for example, and you want a specific thick line, you can go as thick as you want. And this one here, although you cannot see it, has now got a blur on it. I want to tap on that one, and I want to merge it down with the one underneath it, and I'm actually going to swipe left and duplicate. Now watch what happens here. That dark line just got a little bit darker because I duplicated it. Now I can, if I want to, merge that down. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to apply a solid colour fill to that blurred edge that we have now defined. So we want to make sure that it's as solid as it can be. And what we want to do is we want to tap on this ribbon tool here, which is the selection. Now notice, I've got mine set to a colour fill. So when I do this, it is going to add the black colour that I have up there into this outline. If I tap off of that, what will happen is something a little different. Okay, you get a different image. Now you want to tap inside your image and swipe right. If you can't go all the way across, go back in and swipe right. And you can see this line getting more and more defined. And I go back into my layers, take my brush, and I can have a hard airbrush, hard blend, and I can go over my edges. Now this would be useful if I only wanted a line in a particular place, then this would be the way to do it. Okay, so that's only going to put the colour where I actually do my pen lines. I've taken that one away and I've gone back to my original layer. Now the other way of doing this is to go to your selection tool and to put the colour fill on. Now when I go into here and I swipe, so that is the difference between having a colour fill on it and not having the colour fill. If you don't have the colour fill, you will see this blue line instead, and then you will have to go in with your brush and you will have to add your colour in wherever you want. So that's how you put your line around it. Now it makes no difference to the program whether you have one image, 20 images, or whatever. It will do them all at the same time. I didn't come up with this idea myself. I did find it on another YouTube video. I will link that one below. Now you do not have to draw your own images to do this. If you've got images already loaded on your iPad or whatever, or if you find them online for stickers or sentiments or whatever else it is that you want, you can import those and use them in just the same way. Because it has such sophisticated masking tools, it'll work fine with a lot of images. Obviously, if you're going to try and do photographs, that's a little more involved. But for the majority of the things that you're going to want to cut out for stickers and sentiments and clip art and all those sorts of things, it's going to work just fine. And Procreate is not very expensive. And if you have an iPad and you want to do any kind of arty, crafty type work, I strongly recommend you get Procreate because it's worth it. You can do this twice. If you really want to leave a good white border and then have a black border around it, you can just duplicate your efforts. So you do the first one as a white border, and then you finish doing that one, you group it all together, and then you copy that image and you do it again, but this time with a black border. So you can, if you want to, have your multi-borders on there. My last tip would be, if you want to do this and you think, oh, it's complicated, write down the instructions on a small card, something like the photo card I've got here, and laminate it. Keep it with your iPad. When you want to do it, you've got the instructions there. Oh yeah, this is how I put that line on. But sooner or later, it will become automatic and you won't need it. But for while you're actually practicing, write down those instructions line by line and laminate it, and you'll find it so easy to do. This makes having a scan and cut do what a scan and cut is designed to do. But what it doesn't do as well perhaps as you might want it to if you don't have the right images. In case you're wondering, I've just put those little things into these containers. I'm actually going to be using these as shaker elements, and that's why I've made so many of these little tiny things. I thought they'd be great fun for that. Okay, that's it for today. I will be doing some more Procreate tutorials if they're wanted. Please leave your comments and leave likes down below. Take care now.